Doing flat bench, 6 reps of 185 pounds. First time in my life I've ever done it. I had to get some spotting for my wife, but it's all good. I want to say thank you to gym guys, specifically to Leroy Huggins, to Bryan, to Giovanna, for helping me out over the last 3 months. Get to this point. If you're considering personal trainers, gym guys is the way to go. They are awesome. Doing flat bench, 6 reps of 185 pounds. First time in my life I've ever done it. I had to get some spotting for my wife, but it's all good. I want to say thank you to gym guys, specifically to Leroy Huggins, to Bryan, to Giovanna, for helping me out over the last 3 months. Get to this point. If you're considering personal trainers, gym guys is the way to go. They are awesome.
And we are live on another Tuesday night, 2 nights away from the NFL draft, about 2 weeks away from NBA playoffs. And what are we going to do tonight? We're going to talk a little high school sports. Couple comments right out of the gate Oh, by the way, Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, all in on high school
Good evening.
sports.
Thank you for watching.
And they can't see it, but you have your
Oh, I do. I have my
all in on high school sports shirt.
Sweatshirt at courtesy of courtesy of Kenny Kirkpatrick. Thank you, Kenny, but courtesy of DMK Apparel as well.
Okay, a couple comments. Coach Breslin, looking forward to another great show. This looks great. He's talking about his intro, which does look great. Coach, thank you very much for doing it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Coach Siciliano saying good evening.
Hello, Mr. Sis.
And Kenny Kirkpatrick, co-host of the K&K Sports Show, saying good evening, all, and welcome to the best high school sports talk show on earth. He's also saying thank you, sponsors, for your support. Speaking for Kurt, Jen, and Sis, I can't explain how much in words it's appreciated. He's going to train someone, have a great show, and he will listen later. So thank you, Mr. Kirkpatrick. So what is on our agenda tonight?
We have another big agenda in store. We're going to be joined by Elmwood Park Wrestling. We're going to have Coach Tom Mulligan and his senior wrestler, Maria Taseva. I want to make sure I'm saying her name correctly. Taseva. I'll double check on that. We will also be joined by the founder and CEO of Fast Twitch Training, Dr. Peter Ferraro, and his director of operations, Chris Tuttle, to talk about their facility. And then we will welcome back Coach Bryan Stoll from Delbarton Wrestling. So a full agenda tonight that we're looking forward to.
Okay. Fired up. Mr. Kirkpatrick has sent me a top 5. We'll get to that later on. And away we go.
All right.
So bring our guests in.
Absolutely. Let me get them in. Our first 2 guests are in the waiting room, so we'll get them in right now. And welcome them.
By the way, anybody have comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment. We are live on the I-95 Sports Network, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter tonight.
All right, great. Hello, Coach. How you doing? Welcome back.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Sure. Welcome. Looks like Maria's still getting connected. Maybe she's in. There she is. Awesome. And welcome, Maria. How are you? Make sure she can hear us before we officially get started.
Coach, I think you are officially our first person to be on the show 3 times.
The trifecta.
Let's go.
So you are right now. You are in the leaderboard right now.
Love it. I love it.
Put that on all the accomplishments Elmwood Park's got this year. You know,
It's going on the resume.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Dem and Beckton are running close to close. I will say that.
That's true. Too funny.
I will say that.
Maria just sent a little message that her sound wasn't cooperating, so she's gonna try to come back in.
Okay, let's start with Coach.
Well, you know what? Let's give everybody a little background. We have Coach Tom Mulligan. He's joined us 3 times. We want to make sure that we introduce him again. Head football coach and head wrestling coach at Elmwood Park. So Elmwood Park High School in Elmwood Park. Thank you for joining us again for the 3rd time. And tonight he will be joined by Maria. And Coach, am I saying her last name correctly? Taseva?
Yeah, Taseva.
Taseva, great. And she was the state runner-up in her weight class at this year's girls wrestling state tournament. So very exciting to have somebody on your team, accomplish that goal. Very awesome. And thank you so much for coming on to talk about it.
Yeah, Coach, thank you very much. Coach Breslin saying, wow, look at that green screen. Coach, I know you see a green screen that just says all in, but if you go back and look, we got the Easter Bunny came through. So since the Easter Bunny came through, we got a nice Elmwood Park green screen for you. So later on, go back, check it out. And we're getting good at this. We're getting good at this. So I'm going to start with Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Coach. Last time we spoke, you did a quick preview of what you thought the wrestling team was going to be like for this season. Now that your season has ended, can you give us a little recap of the season, and particular, obviously, of Maria, who's our guest tonight?
One word I could say about the season was quarantine. So coming into the season, we were really excited. We had a bunch of guys back, bunch of girls back. We were gonna have the girls on their own schedule. And, we were gonna, I thought we were gonna do really well. We had a bunch of returners, and we were real excited. And then it came the whole, this one couldn't do it. Family wasn't comfortable with it, which I understand 100%. We never pushed that on anybody, but and we got athletic kids in to replace them, and we were excited. We were like, all right, we'll pick up where we left off. And then those 6 guys to replace them got quarantined, and we were kind of fighting behind the 8 ball all year. But I'll tell you what, we adopted the mantra "act as if." Coach Murray read us the forget what year it was, the Stanford girls coach, when she battled through cancer, didn't say a word. And in her interview, they were like, well, how'd you do it? She goes, I just acted as if I didn't have it. I acted as I was a champion. And they went on and made that great run. So we kind of adopted that. And we said we're going to be the toughest people in the room. So we don't care if we're going there wrestling with 4 people, 4 girls in the lineup, 2 girls in the lineup. We're just going to go and we're going to brawl everyone. We're going to be the toughest people in the room. And that mantra and attitude kind of stuck with our kids, and they just ran with it. I mean, Maria upset the returning state champ. I was in shock. It was the end of the match, and I just yelled, send it, just go for it. And she did. And, of course, my terrible math skills, I was like, oh, man, she came up 1 point short, and I didn't realize I didn't give her the backs yet. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a fun year. I mean, for what it was worth, what happened, these kids, they're like, whatever. Took it on the chin, just kept going. That's what, that's what we love to see. They really acted as if. They didn't let anything bother them. It was great.
Awesome.
That's great, Coach. I love the perseverance and how you guys tied in, the Stanford coach. Those are the things I miss about coaching. Giving that mindset to your kids. That's great. So nice to hear. Maria, welcome. Congratulations, first of all. Hi. The sound is working.
Sorry, Danny, from my other browser, it wasn't working. I'm so sorry.
No. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just glad to have you. No problem. We don't worry. Last week, what happened? We had our technology was.
We've been
had our
up.
issues. Don't you worry.
Okay.
So
makes me feel better.
I was wondering if you would recap for us specifically your regional and state tournament run. Like Coach Mulligan said, you had an exciting come-from-behind victory in the regions that catapulted you over last year's state champion and into the state tournament. So rather than us kind of go through it, I wanted in your words if you could kind of recap those 2 tournaments for us.
Oh, I mean, that coming into that battle, I knew I had to try to prove myself just because I knew I lost to her last year into the finals regions. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I was gassed going into that. And then, so typically what I usually would do, my main move would be a headlock, and I would try to use that as my advantage for everyone. But I wanted to come into this year to learn a little bit more and try to prove on other skills to be more dominant on other things. So at the end, though, I did go back to my back pocket, and I did use that last movement. I did get those back 3 points. But when I looked up at the scoreboard, I was like, dang, I'm going to be short. Like how Coach said, I'm like, wait, hold on. I have a point above her. What's going on? And I'm shaking. I'm like my mind's not in the right place. I was so such a relief, but such a shock at the same time.
Nice. Very exciting.
And then, of course, going up against Amanda Pace at the end, I knew what she was capable of. It was a very hard match. I'm not going to say no. We both knew one person was going to end up in the winning end. But I feel like regionals this year was a great upgrade from last year and the year prior, of course.
Awesome.
But states, oh my God. I mean, I did send the first girl. The sport, very physical. Anything can happen. I felt bad for the outcome of what happened in the first match, but it is what it is. Second match coming in, I'm in triple overtime. And I just remember wanting to ask for injury time one more time because my asthma started kicking in. I was dying, and Mulligan was like, no, you give them the option if you do. And I'm like, okay. He was like, you keep her down, you win. You let her up, you lose. And I was like, okay. And I get my energy back, and I kick into some weird switch in my head, and I kept it down for 30 more seconds. And then going into finals and becoming the first state finalist from Elmwood Park since 1964 when we were East Patterson. I mean, that was amazing. I can't even lie. And then, I had to mentally prepare to go back into my finals match with Amanda, another rematch. And I give her so much props. She does a sport year round. I don't. I do 2 other sports. But I know I couldn't give her an easy battle, and she did end up picking me in the last minute, and I don't think I would have done it anyway else, though. I feel like I pushed it. I gave it all I could have gotten, and in the end, it is what it is. It happens. I give her respect. I wish her luck for the year and then for next year, and yeah.
Very nice.
No,
great
awesome.
recap,
Sounds
yeah.
like a great run, and again, congratulations on a
you
great
so much.
run, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. And like you said, you're the first ever state finalist at Elmwood Park. And you also play soccer. Obviously, you're going to be going to play soccer in college.
Yes.
I have a two-part question. First off, with the wrestling, how did you get involved in wrestling? What decided you to go out for the wrestling team?
Okay. So I come from a very foreign household where it's kind of like taboo to do like male dominated sports. And I just remember being in camp at 5th grade, and like one of my counselors was like, Maria, I think you do great in wrestling. I think you should try it. Cause I always hung out with the boys. I was never like calm, I guess. And then I mentioned it to my mom. I'm like, you know what? I want to join the wrestling team at the rec. She's like, what? Huh? No? And then I got into high school, and I was like, you know what? Everyone assumes I'm going to do basketball because I'm really tall, or that like, I want to just prove it like everyone wrong. There's such a like mindset that like not a girl can't do this sport. And I wanted to be one of the people to change that. Of course, we already had Natalie Vega on that team, and she set a high standard for everyone. But when I told my mother that I was gonna do it, she was like, excuse me, no, you're not. We had like a screaming match, and I was like, listen, it's male dominated, not a male sport. I'm gonna do it. And then she was like, okay, fine, I'll get your physical done. And I mean, after the first match,
I bet you Coach Mulligan was happy you made that decision, right?
I actually told her to play basketball.
Yeah, she told me to play basketball.
I was like, hey,
He was
the
my middle
basketball
school
team can
coach.
really use you.
No. He was my middle school like teacher. So like he's known me since I was like way younger. So you know how I was a person. But I mean, I bet he doesn't regret it now.
No, I mean, hey, I said that to her. I said, hey, you got us 2 free trips to Atlantic City. Good job sticking with it. Coach Cannon was like, come on, you got to get her to play basketball. I was like, I don't know. I was like, she's not aggressive. I can't really see her doing really well in wrestling. And she proved us all wrong. I mean, her and Natalie.
That was her goal.
That was their thing. They were like, we went out left the boys.
And my second part question is, do you think, obviously, again, like you said, you're going to be playing soccer in college. Do you think wrestling or your time wrestling can help you or has helped you in soccer?
Actually, yes. I feel like even though, so I'm a goalie, and I'll be a goalie, of course, in college as well. I feel like with wrestling, you have to have this like very focused mentality where you have to go in and you have to make sure, okay, this is what I have to do. There are going to be times you're going to mess up. There are going to be times where you have to like, you're going to do great things. And I feel like as being in goal, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much focus you need to do, like to have as a goalie, especially when you're getting balls rocketed at you at like 60 miles an hour. You have to be prepared and everything. And like, just like how you have to be on your toes for wrestling, I have to be on my toes for soccer as a goalie. I always have to be prepared to do this, to do that, to jump here. And with wrestling, I have to be prepared to slide by, do all these things to like avoid getting taken down. So I feel like, yeah, it did kind of like assist me, even though I've been playing soccer since I was 8 years old.
Awesome.
Nice. Coach,
I gotta brag for her real quick. She's not gonna say it. She actually signed a letter of intent to play college soccer at Bloomfield College.
Awesome.
Oh, I thought they knew that. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, awesome.
I knew she wouldn't bring it up.
Very exciting. Awesome. So awesome. Coach, last time you joined us, we did speak a little bit about how like girls wrestling is continuing to grow, right? There's a rise at the youth level, the high school level, and even collegiately. So I was hoping you like would touch upon that again, especially like after this year's experience, and like where do you kind of see it going at all of those levels?
I just see it keep going up. I mean, it's trending upwards. There's going to be a few more colleges that are going to announce girls programs. With COVID and everything this year, we didn't get to have a rec season, but I think there would have been a lot more girls. But they had this year, for the past 3 years actually, it's just grown more and more, their own girls state tournaments. Like right now, you see there's a lot going on with like the freestyle nationals and the girls and freestyle tournaments, because in college that's what they wrestle, freestyle, not folk style like we do. So you're seeing a lot of girls transition into freestyle in the off season to get ready for the next level. Okay. And it's taken off. It's like it's amazing. I mean, I remember like 10 years ago it was save wrestling. Now it's like, all right, we're growing. Everything's getting bigger now. And I think the girls being in there helped a lot too, especially with them being in Atlantic City. Like, you know, coaches are scouring the hallways. They're like, hey, it's new. You know, you're athletic. We'll get you out there. We'll teach you a few moves.
Yep.
And get to go.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned like that you had anticipated if you had a rec season there would be more girls. So I would imagine that's thanks to, you know, players like Maria and the girls who came before her. So I was wondering if you could speak now specifically to Maria and how she's impacted your program.
I mean, Maria has taken our female program, her and Natalie, and just like skyrocketed. Where Natalie left off last year, Maria just took it and ran with it. I mean, she's a 2-time state semifinalist. She's going to graduate as one of the most decorated athletes in Elmwood Park history, and that's because she took the chance and she just said, like, whatever, I'm going to go. And then when I was telling her, like, hey, you should go play basketball, I think part of it was to prove me wrong. And I told her, hey, I told her when she walked off the mat as a sophomore at the first girls' tournament, like, all right, you got me, you proved me wrong. Good job. I mean, just the things she's been able to accomplish here, and then there's just other girls that are stepping up now. Everyone just wants to get involved now. I mean, like I said, we would have had a full lineup if it wasn't for COVID and people backing out. But like I said, you gotta, you can't question that. That's someone's family's, like, you gotta put all family stuff first. But I mean, the thing she's done for our program, not even that, just going out. Like, I've had coaches come up to me after dual meets, because she wrestled to the boys' side as well, and they're like, dude, that girl's so tough. Like, she almost pinned like 2 kids this year. It was great to see. We call it career enders when she pins them. Walks up the mat, like, jumping around and giggling, smiling. I'm like, come on, Maria, this boy's gonna see that. We don't want him to quit the team.
Oh well.
Yeah, she helped our program. I mean, I think because of her, like I said, Natalie, like Kaya and Vanya, who we got in the program now, I think they're just gonna skyrocket everything, and people are gonna look up to them. I've called them pioneers from day one. I think they're pioneers for us. When they go in the rec room and we have rec wrestling, the little girls that are in there, they look up to them like they're like Rulon Gardner and Dan Gable walking into the room. It's really great to see and be a part of.
That's actually a great segue to my next question, because I was going to describe Maria and the fellow girls on your squad as a trailblazer in the sport, right? So Maria, young girls have more opportunities because of the path that you set forth. So what would your advice be to a young girl who's thinking of starting wrestling?
I would just tell them to stop caring about what a guy's opinion is about the sport. I've had I've never had actually I have this year. Our last dual meet, a guy literally came up after weigh-ins and was like, I'm not wrestling you, you're too tall. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I feel like it's just like I said, such a mindset where like a lot of girls don't do this sport because you're with a lot of guys. It's very aggressive. But right now on my track team, I'm trying to get these 2 girls who one of them is playing basketball, the other one doesn't do anything. I'm like, listen, you guys look like you can mess up a few girls out there, do it. And like, I feel like having like not like in a very confident way, having me and of course Kaya, Vanya, and of course Nat when she was still here, as like a preview of what we can do just as females. Like we're still a small group in comparison. But like 5 years down the line, you're gonna have so many girls participating in the sport. Like we made it a Division I sport in colleges. So many more schools are getting it, where they're allowing girls to join the team or having a separate program for the girls. So I feel like I'm very proud as a female to be able to portray such like, I don't know how to explain it, such a view on this sport where little girls who are like just starting out in sports can be like, you know what, I want to do this. I want to try it, So it makes me happy.
That's great. That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
Comment from Coach Farina saying, congrats to Maria and Coach Mulligan, helping bringing girls wrestling in North Jersey to another level. So thank you, Coach, for that comment.
Coach Farina, girls wrestling Bergen County Coach of the Year. There he is.
Oh, was he? Congratulations,
nice.
Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Well, I guess Coach is going to be coming back on again soon for that one. We'll be getting him on for that. You broke the news. There you go. He doesn't even get it. We don't even going to ask him. We'll schedule you for next week, Coach Farina. You're on. But, Coach, I want to go back to you for a second. And, again, I know I don't even know how to say this in words, but when you say Elmwood Park, you think Coach Mulligan. You really do. I mean, you guys had an unbelievable turnaround with the football. Now you had Maria, and you're saying a bunch of the girls wrestling and the wrestling program, bringing that to another level. Going forward, what do you see the Elmwood Park? I don't want to say football. I just want to say in general. You can speak for the whole program, like all the programs. Elmwood Park athletics, what do you see in the next couple of years, and why are you very excited to be part of that?
I mean, just getting better, you know? I mean, for the longest time when I was in high school, it was like, oh, like you saw Elmwood Park on your schedule. Like all my buddies, oh yeah, that's the game we're gonna win, you know, just being competitive, getting better, being like not being a doormat, you know, because for years, I mean, there's no hiding it. You can look at all the records of all the sports. You saw that, and people were like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Like one of my coaches in college was a Glen Rock football player, and we were talking as I'm getting my equipment. He's like, "Oh man, we always knew we played you guys. We were gonna kill you guys." And he was like, "But you guys were always tough." Like that was our thing. Like, yeah, we might not be the most athletic people, but we're tough. Now we're changing that. Like, you know, we're getting dedicated athletes. We're doing lifting sessions now. Like they started that when I was in school, and it built. It just keeps going every year. We got kids doing the right things as far as like their grades, and we're just turning the corner, just getting better. You know, it's like it's just the culture, being a part of it, seeing the culture change is just it's awesome. It's great. Like it makes being an alumni, being born and raised here, it makes me so proud to be a part of it. Like girls like Maria coming out, like you guys said, being a pioneer, like a trailblazer, like taking a shot at it. Like what the girls' basketball team this year did.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had Coach on. I forgot that Coach on.
I was so mad about not being able to go to the games. I was like, all right, I'll do the clock. I have no idea what anything is in basketball. I have zero clue. I had the one lady sitting next to me telling me just so I could only hit the buttons to stop the clock. Just I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to see their success. You know, just seeing the success of Elmwood Park is it's awesome. And I just hope that we can keep continuing growing. But the kids that we had this year, the senior group, both sports just laid a great foundation for everyone to see how we're doing it and what we want to build and where we want to take our sports to.
Yeah.
But like we always say, you got to be a good person too. Like do the right thing off the field and on the field. Like that's our big mantra too. Like family, yeah, we're a big family school, family atmosphere, but we want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, whether it's in the classroom or when you're hanging out with your buddies or in the hallways. Like we want to be good citizens, high character people, and we're starting to pull that off, and it's really great to see. I'm really enjoying the ride.
We got a comment from Beckton Football via Twitter saying no one more dedicated to the student athletes of Elmwood Park than Coach Mulligan.
Very nice.
So thank you for that comment.
Very true.
Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, we're gonna roll into what we call rapid fire. Coach Mulligan, we're gonna give you one quick rapid fire question, then we got a few from Maria since you've been a victim of rapid fire twice before.
Good luck, Maria. Don't screw it up.
Mine'll be easy, of course. NFL draft on Thursday night. You Giant fan?
Cowboys.
Oh, that's right, Cowboys. I forgot about that. All right, with the number 10 pick, you got to go defense. Please tell me you're going to go defense. You got to go defense. Who? I can't talk Dak. We'll be here till 10 o'clock tonight talking Dak. So what do you want to do with number 10?
If he falls, Micah Parsons from Penn State.
No. I hope you're wrong because I want Micah Parsons from Penn State on my Broncos. So I hope you're wrong. But all right, now
listen, Sean Lee just retired.
I know.
It's
he's a stud. He's a stud. I know he's got the off-field concerns and all, but he is an absolute missile. I would love him as a middle linebacker. So hopefully you're wrong and I take him from you.
All right.
We can still be buddies. Don't worry.
Of course.
All right, Maria, these next ones are for you. So on this show, we're all about food, right? And we've had a lot of wrestlers on the show, and we, know you guys have to be careful about, prepping for the season, cutting weight during season, of course. So when the season finally ends, what is your go-to meal once you have no restrictions?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you're probably not gonna know what it is. It's a Macedonian food. It's called burek. Oh my god, it's like phyllo dough stuff with meat. You drink it with yogurt. You eat it with yogurt. And me and Vanya, she's Croatian, I'm Macedonian, so we have the same language, the same food and everything. We were like, listen, the season's over. We're going to get this. I'm telling you. There's a really nice restaurant in Clifton, a town over from us. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I really ate that way too fast.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, my rapid fire for you, Maria, is think either professional wrestling or boxing or UFC. If you were able to have an intro song for you to come on to the mat where it's just your song, you come out to it, what song would that be?
I don't know song names like that. Would I be able to switch the question and ask what Mulligan thinks my song should be?
Sure. Go ahead, Coach. What would it be? Give me something.
Well done.
Probably some Macedonian folk tale.
Yeah, probably. I Okay,
Just gonna turn around and be like, "What is going on?"
Okay, I have a song now. I have a song now. It's called Made in Balkan, which is like the Balkan Peninsula. It's like a very like upbeat. I don't know. It's an upbeat song. Okay, that's
Okay,
my
there you go.
Very
That's
well
it.
done. Nice. All right, and our last one is we've gotten away from this one in a while. We need to get back to taking this poll. You have an iPhone or an Android?
iPhone.
All right, nice, good answer.
I'm sorry. I can't deal with an Android. I like tried once. Nope.
Hey, I'm a diehard Android
We're
guy.
opposites on
Listen,
that.
if you are into Android, you can be like you are into Android. You have to. I feel like you're either really into one or not the other.
Very true, very true. We're the polar opposites here.
That's it.
Not mine right here.
Coach and Maria, thank you again. Maria, congratulations. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so
Keep up
much.
the good work at Elmwood Park. It was a pleasure to have you guys on, and we really
Yep.
appreciate you taking the time to join us.
And Coach Mulligan will probably see you in what, 3 weeks? You know,
We're on
we'll
a
see
cycle
you.
with you.
Yeah, we're on a cycle with you. So,
Good.
maybe we'll have you instead of the Elmwood Park green screen. We'll have your face on here soon. Mine's well. You're going to be on again. So what's the big deal?
Blast. I will give you a picture to blast.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
there you go. We're
Send
hoping
it.
to
We
got
send
it.
it our way.
Maria,
That's
great
not big.
great season, Maria. Good luck in college.
Yes,
and
best
Coach,
of
we
luck.
seriously
Thank you
will
so much.
talk to you soon.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks for having
guys.
us, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Great first guest.
Beckton football's coming back saying, great job this season, Maria. You should be proud. Yes, absolutely. Everyone
Yeah,
Elmwood Park, Coach
100%.
and Maria. Coach Breslin saying, great job. Congratulations. Yes, him and Farina together as the background
there we go.
pictures.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, get on it. Get on it. There you go.
Too funny.
We could do that.
While we're waiting for our next guests,
Okay.
would you like to take a little peek at Kenny's top 5? that he
Yes, we'll
sent?
look at Kenny's top 5. I will throw it out there. I got to tell you what
I
Kenny.
got it up here ready to go. Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, well, I got to
Okay.
read mine first because Kenny started it out tonight saying, rank these 5 programs that start with E. Ramapo, Rutherford, Ridgewood, Ramsey, Riverdale. I said, what? What starts with E? All right, but then, again, it's Kenny, it's damn autocorrect, yes, haha. So he wants to rank these programs. Ramapo, Rutherford, Ridgewood, Ramsey, Riverdale.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
Want me to go?
Yeah, you go first.
Now, once again, you have to remember I am an Essex County girl, so I am not as familiar with these teams at all, and really only became familiar with them because of you. I'm going to go and I'm basing this a lot on what I know from you, so I'm going to go.
So you're blaming me if you pick these teams?
No, not at all. There was no blame. Ramapo, Ridgewood. I'm going to go Rutherford, Ramsey, Riverdale.
Okay. See, Coach Breslin, how he's trying to suck up tonight?
I was waiting.
Don't fall for it.
Coach Breslin.
Don't fall for it, Coach Breslin. Do not fall for it because I will not
Number
fall
one
for it.
for the R's.
I can tell you right now, I will not fall for that. I do not believe it. Coach Breslin is saying, wow, you know what? Coach Breslin has gone a little off my beating path. Okay. He went Ramapo, Ridgewood, Riverdale, Rutherford, Ramsey. Now, Coach Messina's checking in, saying he's going Ramapo, Riverdale, Ridgewood, Rutherford, Ramsey. I'm going to go Ramapo, Ramapo, Ridgewood, Riverdale, Ramsey, Rutherford.
Oh,
so
interesting.
a lot of them are on the same.
I'm
are
not,
on the
I'm
same.
not again, with the Riverdale through me, I don't know anything, really about
Well, you
them,
were with
but
me watching the Riverdale Ramapo game. How do you forget that? We
I
went. That was
did.
your first
Honestly,
game.
I forgot who the opponent was. I was so focused, Coach Breslin, that we were watching Ramapo that I forgot.
And that was the game Riverdale was up, I want to say 2 or 3 scores. Jen's saying to me, this is
I never
all
said
Kurt's
that.
saying Ramapo. This
I
is
never
whatever.
said that. I
Come
knew
back,
about Ramapo.
boom, Ramapo wins. But no, that would be my rankings. Thank Coach Messina for checking in with us tonight.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Okay,
yes.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about a 2-minute break. All right, we're gonna
run a little one of our
sponsors, and we will be
back with our guests.
right back.
And welcome back. We have joining us now, founder and CEO of Fast Twitch in Saddlebrook, Dr. Peter Ferraro, and his director of operations, Chris Tuttle. It's like our Fast Twitch follow-up. Last week we had one of your trainers on, guys, Mike Messina. And actually, on Facebook, I saw, only because I'd seen that Coach Messina, like the facility, I saw one of my friend's sons training, like posted a training video, and I wrote in the comments, "Is that Fast Twitch?" And she said, "Yeah." So one of our former athletes that we had on the program also trains with you guys. So a nice little Fast Twitch connection. So welcome to the show, guys. So nice to have you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you again for joining us, Dr. Ferraro. I'll start with you. Can you explain a little bit about your background in chiropractics and what made you want to start a facility like Fast Twitch?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in practice now for 25 years, and we've always been in a position to help athletes. I was starting to do a lot more over the last 10 years with professional athletes, especially with my affiliation with the NFL Alumni Association. And so as we started utilizing some of the newer technology that was made available to us through the professional organizations, we realized that there was a significant need to get that technology out into the youth sports, because what we've started to see more and more is injured athletes. And they were injured because either they weren't training correctly, or quite honestly, that they didn't know that they had some potential for injury due to some imbalances that they may have had. So we have some great proprietary technology that we're able to utilize to assess our athletes with this injury risk prevention program. And that's really what spun kind of the addition of Fast Twitch to my Ferraro Spine and Rehabilitation practice. And now really it's all merged into Fast Twitch Performance and Recovery, because everything really revolves around each other.
Very cool. Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys offer your athletes, right? I see on your website from anything from team training to individual training, nutrition, rehab. Can you elaborate for us?
Yeah, I know it kind of sounds cliche sometimes to say we want to be the one-stop shop, but we are truly trying to provide these athletes the professional level Division I experience, which is where most of them want to end up and they're striving to be. So we start with obviously the preventative treatment, like Dr. Ferraro mentioned, with the medical, really identifying areas of deficiency before they get hurt. So keeping them on the field instead of the return to play. Then elite level performance training with CSCS, the highest level trainers you can get in the game. A lot of our coaches have come from the college level prior to it, so they're going to get that experience. We try to run our teams exactly like we did. I was at Villanova before, University of Cincinnati. So when I run a team, it's a lot of what I'm taking it from there. And then the full recovery platform on the back end. We always say, if you look at the highest level athletes in the world, they're spending millions of dollars on their bodies a year, and that starts and ends with recovery as well. So we try to provide that piece for them as well on the back end. So it's just a complete circle of beginning to end with the highest level treatment and training that you can get. And it's been a really fun thing to grow and, grow with Dr. Ferraro. And I think we're able to help out a lot of athletes around the area.
Very cool.
Great. Chris, I'll come back to you. There's obviously a variety of high school sports, football, baseball, lacrosse, any kind of running, cross country and stuff like that. How do you approach different athletes that play different sports?
That's a great question, because I feel like there's a misconception of a lot of it, that it's football at the top and it's always that way. There's the old school 5x5 bench, 5x5 squat. We've trying to take the more, sports science approach to it and understand that there's, different ranges of motion. There's different planes that each athlete are working on, and being able to identify which one it is, because a lot of these athletes, they play multiple sports, right? So it's really about turning them into better athletes all around. We're not super sport specific. We're not going to teach them the same things that the coaches are going to be doing at practice, but developing them as better athletes in all areas, I think for us is a big focus. And then our team is really built out of a lot of coaches that have played different sports in colleges. So we have a track runner. That's one of our coaches. We have a football coach. I played baseball. We have that's TPI certified, so the golf certification. So having different coaches that can focus in those areas makes us very, very unique. And again, adding the different levels of the recovery in there as well.
Okay, my second part of that question is, again, there's a lot of sports that boys and girls obviously can both play, but in the past couple years, and even just starting now with the flag football's one, and obviously wrestling. We just had Maria from Elmwood Park. a state medalist. How is that approach different? Like, has it changed, or is it the same for you now? Because, wrestling is a more aggressive sport. Flag football, even though it's flag, it's still football. So if you get these athletes that are wrestlers, that are girls, either wrestlers and or flag football players, will your approach change for that? Or are you going to train them the same as you would train? Obviously, it's a little different than how you would train a guy, but what's your approach to that in those two sports particularly?
In those two sports, I think, especially at this age, it's really teaching and having athletes understand how to use their own bodies, right? So it's a lot less of getting them stronger by loading weight on their back or benching heavy. They really don't know how to optimize the movements of their own body yet. And if they can just learn how to cut, learn how to transfer their energy and get force production in the ground and things along those lines, and learn the right knee placement when they're squatting or making a cut, that's going to carry over tremendously into the field, that in and of itself. That's why a lot of the stuff that we train is movement-based training. And it's not your standard kind of linear periodization of just, putting 5 more pounds on the bar each week. So especially, flag football and more ground contact sports, just getting them to optimize how to use their own bodies for us is the key. And we have a wide variety or a big toolbox of stuff that we'll use for that.
Nice. Dr. Ferraro, you kind of alluded to this in the first question as you were kind of giving a history of how Fast Twitch even came to be. There's been so many technological advances, right? I have like 3 areas that I kind of wanted to ask you about those advances in. The first is in surgery and like how it's affected recovery. I feel like, I'm a victim of double ACL repair, and even from the time between those two, like my rehab was so much less in the second one, and they got me up moving so much more quickly. And then even, with injury prevention. And then I was wondering if you guys, so that's the second part, was if you could talk a little bit about injury prevention. And then my third one was, I remember, I think it was the last Olympic Games, some of the technology that they were using with the athletes, like to kind of track their fatigue, I guess it was, if that's something that's in your, the science that you were talking about. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? All those things? Was that too much?
No, not at all, of course. Certainly the recovery time in my 25 years of practice, it's vastly different. I mean, we're talking about the opportunity of using not only minimally invasive surgeries, but robotic assisted surgeries that we're getting these athletes back to us on the rehab side same day. It used to be where we couldn't touch these athletes, sometimes 4 to 6 weeks post surgery, and then we start the rehab. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's a knee, they're walking out same day, and within the week, we're doing, whether it's knee or shoulder, elbow. It's pretty amazing the speed at which we're able to start the recovery process. So absolutely, light years differential from even just 5 years ago. On the front of the technology, we use a wide variety of technology, but one of our probably best pieces is called the PhysiMax, and that's a proprietary software that we're able to videotape our athletes. Either we're doing certain ranges of motion or very specific exercises, and we get a report back with a very high degree of understanding on where that athlete is going to potentially be injured if we don't address some of their deficiencies. So we can really predicting. It was actually software that was developed for the Israeli military, and now Major League Baseball, several college teams, pro football are all utilizing this technology, especially now post-COVID, because so many kids and so many athletes got seriously injured because they literally sat for a year not knowing when they were going to start up again. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they got the call and they went full speed as if COVID didn't happen, and they didn't sit around in front of a computer for a year. So we've definitely seen our fair share of injuries because of the lack of use. And then overall, we're just seeing that we're able to prehabilitate some of these kids, especially ones that we know either have an injury and they're waiting for surgery, or they have some pretty significant sprain strains that are not quite surgical. So we're prehabbing them so that if in fact they end up having to go for surgery, their recovery is significantly faster because we've assessed all the surrounding musculature and allowed them to be much stronger to basically come out of surgery and be ready to go.
That's amazing.
I'll come back to Dr. Ferraro. And I mean, let's be honest. It's not like anybody's quote unquote happy to get injured and go through a rough rehab and have to sit out and stuff like that. So how rewarding is it for you when you help nurse an athlete back from injury and then you see them return to form or even better than they were pre-injury?
There's nothing better. I mean, I have 3 boys myself, all athletes. So I can attest from just being that proud dad and watching my kids play. It's the same feeling when I see my athletes come in that are potentially hurt, and we can get them better. And not only do we get them better, but we get them more confident. We get them back on the field knowing that they've done the best they can to mitigate any potential future risk. And now they're playing more aggressive. They're feeling like, hey, they can really go to the next level. And what we really see, and we don't really do a lot of this in regards to social media, just because a lot of the pro athletes, they'll come to us in the off season, and some of them like to remain nameless. They don't necessarily like some of the scouts to see that they're coming in, but we get a pretty significant amount of professional athletes that come in on the off season to come and do what we do. And so to see those guys come in, go back into the season, and then we're watching their stats, and their stats are improving. They're getting more tackles. They're better at their runs, and then they come back. It's very profound in the effect that we can have on our athletes.
And Chris, I have a similar question for you. Working with an athlete, whether it's like one off season or maybe you've been working with a middle school athlete for years and they enter high school, like how rewarding is it for you to see them improve, succeed, and reach their full potential?
I mean, I love it. And I think that's why we're in this field. And that's why Dr. Ferraro and I hit it off so much at the beginning when we first met, because I think our biggest mission was just to help people. This is kind of our outlet. So